Well, I'm currently anchored off of Love Beach for the second time. Um, After going back to Florida to get a new phone, after waterlogging my last one, I decided to go ahead and meet my brother in law, Ben, here. He's ready for a tropical vacation, and I was ready to come back. I didn't get enough time here, and I'm trying to beat the hurricane season, even though it's mid August. Really not the best time to be here, but it's been pretty good. So I'm in a time crunch. I'm down to like the day I'm supposed to meet Ben, and coming from Florida to Bimini, everything was pretty good. I knew within the next day I'd be in Nassau, be able to meet him close to the airport, and I'd pick him up on the beach in the dinghy, and we just have a good old time. Well, when I was leaving Bimini heading towards Nassau, I lost my engine. It just lost compression, and that thing is so old you can't get parts anymore. So there it is. I took it apart twice, tried to do some repair right there. He waited here in Nassau for 2 days for me, and I felt horrible. He's made all these arrangements to get here and made the trip, and there he's sitting here waiting. Now he's staying at an Airbnb, and he's questioning, am I going to make it at all? And so I thought, you know what? Like I've seen on other YouTube videos, they side tie a dinghy. So I tied the dinghy to the side and motored it here, pushing it at about 3 knots, which was good. It was, I don't know, 60 miles, not too bad. I made it. And so I met him. We hung out, did some spearfishing, snorkeling. We went ashore to the beach and went to the grocery, and we had a really good time here. One day we were out snorkeling. I don't know if we were snorkeling or heading towards. No, we were getting ready to go ashore. We got all ready. We get everything we need to go. We get in the dinghy. We're zipping. We got to go about, I don't know, maybe it's a mile and a half from the boat around the corner of the bay to a place where we can tie off. We get there, and I'm reaching in my pockets. I'm like, Ben, I don't have my phone. I'm pretty sure I brought it, didn't I? He's like, yeah, I saw you put it in your pocket. My heart sank. I mean, it was just laying in the bottom of my stomach at that point. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I just went all the way back to Florida to get a new phone, and I've lost mine. I thought, there's no way. I had to have left it on the boat. So we go back 30 minutes to the boat. We get on the boat. The phone's not here, and I'm just in a panic. I'm like, oh crap. What do I do now? And so he's like, you had it in a phone protector, right? And yeah. So the protector wasn't enough to keep it floating, but it was enough to keep the water off of it. So we got back in the dinghy. I grabbed a snorkel mask, and we retraced that route we went to go ashore. And I had my head over the front of the dinghy, underwater, just looking, just where is it? Where is it? All of a sudden, I raised my head up. I was like, Ben, stop the boat, stop the boat. I see it. And I had my clothes on still. I just jumped in right there. I didn't want to lose it again. I swam down to the bottom and got my phone. In all this ocean, I have no freaking idea how we found it. But it's just, that in itself was a miracle. So, phone's okay. It got a little bit wet. I was able to dry it out, no problem. So we spent, the rest of the time here together. He left, and I was anchored here with my 65 feet of chain and like 25 feet of road, which is rope. Midday, I'm taking a nap. All of a sudden, a boat comes by, this really nice yacht. It's a yacht that I was anchored next to. Blast their horn 3 times. I wake up, I poke my head out, and they're like, hey man, are you okay? I'm just looking around, half asleep still. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, you okay? And they're like, yeah, and they're just thumbs up, and they keep going. I mean, this is like a mega yacht type thing. And I realized why they woke me up is because I was drifting towards their boat. My anchor sheared that road off. It got pinched between the bowsprit of my boat and just cut it like scissors. So there I drifted like 2 or 3 miles down the beach. I didn't hit anything, luckily. I would have. I don't know. Those people saved me and my boat, probably. And so I raced to the front. I raised my sails because, of course, I have no engine. the dinghy wasn't set up to be like side tide pushing right then. I sailed back to where I had lost the anchor. I'm following the course on my chart plotter in my phone, and dropped my old anchor in, which is like an old plow anchor. It's a little bit smaller, only 35 feet of chain with like 100 feet of rode. So it's sufficient to hold, but not in a storm or heavy weather. I just wouldn't trust it. And especially after shearing the last one off, that's the last thing I want is that road going through there and just like another pair of scissors or a hot knife and butter. So go back to the spot and I start looking. And I looked for 6 days before I found my anchor. I don't know how I did. It was in like this dark grass with rocks around. It just blended right in. I had searched what I felt was like 3 square miles. I mean, it's hard. I'm just swimming underwater. I'm dragging the dinghy with me, and I tried to poke my head under and driving it around, and I just couldn't give up. I knew replacing that was going to be close to $1,000, and I really just needed that to keep me secure. Like here, I don't even know where to get one. So determination won on that one. So I got my anchor back, and I attached that chain to my old chain. So now I have like 100 feet of chain. I'm not messing with the rope anymore. It's too risky. This is the boat on it. I don't want to lose it. So at this point, I decided I'm going to go over towards the cruise port, side tie the dinghy. I get over there, set the hook. But before I got there were some shallow rocks where my depth alarm started going off. In 20 feet of water, all of a sudden it said I had 3 feet, and the boat is banging off the rocks. It messed up the bottom of the keel. It broke the support off my skeg hung rudder, and then pushed the rudder up sideways. It like pushed it back and then up, twisted it sideways up towards the boat. I don't know how it didn't put a hole in the boat. It put some good scratches. So sitting there for like 2 weeks, I used ratchet straps and was able to torque the rudder back down as close as I could get it, and then to get those remaining couple inches to get everything like really good, good and straight and better aligned, I was pulling on the straps like you would shoot a bow and arrow. So I'm pulling, put my feet up against the hole, just doing all I can, and finally I got it. It's pretty true. But the straps exert upward pressure because they're attached to the bottom of the rudder and towards the top of the boat just to hold it forward. There's so much force on that rudder, you just have to have that support. That keeps the rudder from turning now. It's like jammed up into the boat just enough to where it's like super tight. I'm afraid I'm going to break the steering linkage or cable or something trying to steer it, or maybe like rub fiberglass on fiberglass and cause some damage there. So a little bit sketched out about that. And I'm thinking I need to get back home. I'm going to risk it. I'm just going to make it. It's just going to have to be really hard to steer. I'm going to trust my sails and the weather. And I voiced my concerns on Facebook to my friends and family, which is the only people I know on Facebook. And my friends and family are reaching out saying, that's pretty risky. Just be very careful. And some people are saying, don't do that. That's crazy. So I sat here for another day. I thought about it. And then I put another post up, which is the most humbling thing I've done, because I don't ask for help. I do everything myself, or just do without. Or sometimes I'll ask my dad and he's there for me. And I put a post up asking for support, and within 24 hours, I had over $3,000 donated to me, which is mind-blowing. I shouldn't be surprised because I know my friends and family love me. They want to see me safe and want to see me get back home. But it's just not something I've really ever done. It's just out of my character. The first donation is from my cousin that's I haven't talked to a whole lot. He just lost his dad, and I've just lost my mom. And he was like, "Hey, man, I want to give you some money." And I thought, you know what? You're right. I just need to accept the fact that people want to help me and just get this done. I can pay anybody back, no problem. It's just, I have to get out of here safely. Within 48 hours, I've got close to $5,000, which should be enough to get a new engine, which I have found. I can have it shipped here, just got to find a facility to do it. And I should have enough to get the boat hauled out and at least do a fiberglass repair. I won't have enough to, like, I'm not trying to repaint the bottom. I just want to get it fixed where I can get back home. I can get money when I get back, get a job, whatever, do the repairs. That's no big deal, but I'm just so touched by everybody's love and support, and I'm just completely blown away. And of course, last night, it's a Saturday. I'm waiting for the weekend to end so that the marinas they'll be there to talk to. And last night, Saturday day, Sunday, so we had a bad storm last night, and there was 40 knot winds, if not more. It was really pulling on the boat hard, just yanking on that anchor. Well, it's set well. It's set so well that that anchor chain torqued down and bent the bowsprit on the boat. Like the whole front where the chain goes over the front and edge and down, it really pulled on it hard, and that's bent now, which is repairable. It's just one thing after the next. I have got to get out of here. Everything's good. I'm still okay. The boat's still floating. It's still anchored, and it's just adding urgency to the situation, though. I know hurricane season's coming up, and just knowing that I'd been hit by a water spout getting here and blew out my head sail was just lets me know that anything can happen. You can be out in the middle of nowhere, and then I don't have an EPIRB, so if something happened, the boat flips over, and I don't have a radio, there's no calling for help. So trying to be smart about this, and again, I'm just so thankful for everybody that's reached out and helped. I'm blown away, and I don't even know what to say. I'm just so thankful. But wish me luck. Hopefully I can get into that marina and get something done.